So Laura Rick, we're heading to the Chollar mine and mansion. The mansion served as administration for the mine. You know, they also stored the bullion there. Basically, in today's times, it'd be human resources. But it is haunted by 3 or 4 resident ghosts. And on my way to the mansion, just outside Virginia City, there's these beautiful wild Mustangs just grazing on a hill with the Pine Nut Mountains in the background. And this is the Virginia Range. It's a beautiful day. It's nice and green in the spring up here. Got a bunch of little young Mustangs out there, just babies, a few months old. In the spring, generally you see all the little ones running around. Usually one male per herd. One very hardcore male that fights for his females and breeds with the rest of the females. So you may have 3-4 babies, but they were all from the same male, just different female Mustangs. It's pretty. Alright folks, we'll head up to the Chollar mine and do our investigation. It's one of the most haunted mines in Virginia City. Also, it's my birthday, May 28th, 2016. And what more could I ask but some wild Mustangs and some adventure, drink at the saloon in Virginia City, and then go check out some ghosts of the Chollar mine. We're standing in front of the Chollar mansion. It's on 565 South D Street. You know, it's a mine office and residence. It was used as both back in the 1800s. I don't know if they ever opened the house to for tours and such, but it is historic in every way. And so I wanted people to at least be able to enjoy it. I mean, you got 200 miles almost of views off in the distance on a clear day. It's just a beautiful home. And I'm sure, like the mines, the home is also haunted, which we'll be going to the mine very soon. It's about 400 feet of mining shaft or mining tunnels, and we're going to go ahead and check it out for ghosts, admire the history, take a tour. You know, sometimes we get EVPs and things like that. It just depends. Right time, right place. But the mansion is a Victorian Italianate style. It was built in 1861, added in 1993 to the National Historic or Register of Historic Places. And of course, it was in association with William Billy Chollar. He was a miner who owned the Chollar mine, and then they merged with the Potosi mine. Actually, the Potosi had struck some gold because they crossed into the Chollar mine shaft, and there was a lawsuit for about 4 years. But eventually the two companies merged their mines. Maybe it was just fair to say, hey, you dug in our mine, so how about we just work together? It's hard to say what was going on back in the day. But I mean, it was part of the Comstock lode, which is one of the greatest discoveries of silver and, of course, gold here in Virginia City. We're talking millions and millions of dollars worth. And this mine produced over 20 million. And back then, in today's value, 20 million would be worth probably 100 million. So the man who owned this was extremely wealthy, and the mine was doing quite well for itself, which is just below. And he built the home above the mine so he can keep an eye on his mine workers. This mine brought in millions of dollars in silver. And this was the mining office. And the Chollar Mansion was designed by N.J. Coleman and William Billy Chollar, the founder of the mine, in the 1860s. It says that the mansion was moved about 0.25 miles in 1870 for the sole purpose to keep an eye on the mine. And in 1993, this was a bed and breakfast. Pretty cool, huh? But William Billy Chollar in 1859 discovered or made the Chollar claim. The tunnels were about 1,400 feet in length, 400 feet in width. And in 1861, the nearby Potosi mine discovered an ore body that dipped, as I was saying, into the Chollar, and it brought a suit and all that jazz. Hard to believe that there was lawsuits back in the day, but you know, there was a lot of politics in mining, especially in the Comstock. But it cost $1.3 million in court costs and litigations between the Potosi Mining Company and then the Chollar mine. In 1865, the two companies did merge, and it was the first mine in the Comstock to generate electric power. So this was the first mine that had electricity. Very historic indeed. And we're going to go down below and check it out. The production was 17 million from 1861. The mine ran to about the 1920s, and it was the fifth largest producer ever in Comstock history. And by 1963, the Chollar was open to the public. And so mine tour has been going on since the mid-1900s here. Not so much the house, obviously someone lives here, but it was a bed and breakfast. And the mine today is still open for tours, and there's a lot of mining equipment on the ground, so it's kind of like a museum. And, you know, men did die. I mean, like I say, there's about 3-4 ghost stories. People give tours, talk a lot about the ghost as well. And so we're going to go ahead and we're going to descend into the mine, take some EVPs, maybe some EMF. If there's lights, I'm not going to take EMF. It just will draw in energy from the lights. And we'll go from there. Just a very beautiful mansion. And of course, we've investigated the 4th Ward School. But you can see rock drills, silver ore, a lot of equipment. And the Nevada Mill was erected, which would produce any of the silver ore taken out of the mine. So it was very, you know, it was very relevant, very historic. And there were cave-ins and explosions and accidents. Men did die. They also said that when the two companies battled between the Potosi and the Chollar mine, there was some violence between the miners and the had erupted. You know, there's just a lot of competition in the Comstock. But we'll talk about it a little more when we get to the mine. I can't throw you guys all my cards at once. I gotta save some stories and information and history. But I'll tell you what it says. Here's a plaque. We'll just make it easy for you guys, and I'll read it real quick. Founded by William Billy Chollar in 1859, the original Chollar claim was 1,400 feet by 400 feet in width, as I was saying. In 1861, the nearby Potosi mine discovered an ore body dipped in the Chollar that reached into the Potosi and filed a suit. It started one of the... This is later when the Chollar found rich ore that reached in the Potosi and filed suit. It started one of the costliest litigations in Comstock history. 1.3 million was expended. Every story reads different. The Potosi had dipped. It says right here, discovered an ore body that dipped in the Chollar, and later the Chollar reached into the Potosi. They were both saying, hey, this is our claim, and the other one was like, no, they dug into us, we dug into them. You know, kind of like just child's play kind of stuff. He took my teddy bear, he took my doll, that kind of thing. And so eventually they ended up working together, but it cost $1.3 million, which is obviously a lot of profit back in those days. 1.3 million was one of the largest civil suits in Comstock history. In 1865, the companies did merge, about 4 years after the lawsuit, and it was the first mine on the Comstock to generate power. Production was 17 million, and like I said, it started opening for tours and all that good stuff. So we're definitely gonna do the Chollar mine. It's open right now. I can't wait. It's very exciting. This is Lord Rick, your founder of the Paranormal and Ghost Society. Please check out our site, www.paranormalghostsociety.org. I'm coming. It's well worth running for the train, right? Where's the tracks, dude? Do you see it? Yeah, but you can't see it from here. Yeah, but you can't go there. No, you can't. It's just the Truckee train. I'll be right back. I tried to zoom in a little. You could see it. We've also, folks, investigated the Truckee Virginia Truckee Rail Yard. It's kind of haunted. It's a fiesta, everybody. Look, everyone, it's a fiesta. Actually, it's from the Memorial Day parade we just seen in Virginia City. They're just looping around the city back to where the Chollar Mansion is. Pretty cool. Pretty horses. Wow.
Welcome to the Chollar Mine. My name is John Tyson. I'm your tour guide today, and we're going to go about 400 feet underground. It's a little wet back there because of water seeping, but you'll be fine. The only thing you don't have to worry about it because you're short, but you're going to have to duck because some of those beams, I've seen stars, I've seen moons, I've seen all kinds of different things after hitting one of those beams. Even an ex-wife, which I didn't want to see. Anyway, we're going to start here, and the reason is because in 1859, miners started coming up here after they're coming back from the gold fields in California. They had discovered some ore here back in 1849 when they were on their way to California, but they were in a hurry to get to the gold fields in California, so it wasn't until they started making their way back, they started going up Gold Canyon down here, and they discovered a lot of gold. And by 1861, when the Chollar mine was put in operation, this was a great place. I want to draw your attention, first of all, across the canyon to the combination. They call that the combination because by 1865, it also included Hale North Cross, Savage, and the Chollar, and the Potosi. That was the deepest mine on the Comstock. That went down 3,602 feet. And when the deeper they got, the more problems they ran into with water. Hot water. So hot that at the 3,000 foot level and even higher than that, they were running into temperatures that were 135 to 150 degrees Fahrenheit. Anyway, they could only work for 15 minutes at a time. Then they had to go to a cooling room for 15 minutes. Back and forth, 24/7. But they didn't complain because they were the highest paid miners in the world. They made $4 a day. In keeping with the tradition of those early miners, ladies and gentlemen, I'm still making $4 a day. I get care packages from Somalia. I cash my checks on the bus. Anyway, so that starts the thing. And with the ore body, you're going to see it when we go in here. The ore body was like a semi-diagonal. It went straight down at a 45-degree angle. And that was called the Comstock Trend. And the reason why it started up at Long Valley and went all the way to Dayton. And all these mines tapped into that. Some of them did very, very well. This mine, the Chollar mine, made $17 million. It was the 5th largest on the Comstock. If you had that kind of money today, you could dang near afford health care insurance in this state. Almost. Okay? We're going to go inside. We're going to go in about 400 feet. Remember to duck your head. You children don't have to worry about that because you're short. But and there's a little water on the ground, but that's all right. You'll be fine. We're going to go back to a stope where they stopped mining in 1942, and then from there we're going to show you what they did after that. Any questions? Test question: who's buried in Grant's tomb?
Trick question: giraffe has no legs. Kid being hasn't.
I don't know. We gotta look around.
Okay, guys, let's go.
Awesome.
Wide open for that place.
We don't want the cows to get out.
Oh, Dad, that's you. I'm cold.
Jimmy, walk faster.
Went straight down all the way from Long Valley all the way to Dayton. And so the mines, what they did, they had to tap into that. So this is called a drift. This is called a shaft. These were drifts that went into the ore body. It was blue muck, like a blue silver thing. Anyway, so they had no idea what it was, but it was causing them a lot of problems, especially gumming up their works. Until somebody took some of that ore to Nevada City, California, and assayed out into $100 a ton of pure grade silver. That's what really started the big bonanza of 1875. But by 1864, by the time Nevada was made a state, this place was 30,000 people lived up here. And it was known as the richest place on earth. But it wasn't based on gun smoke. Virginia City was one of the most elegant cities west of Denver. It was also the first city west of Denver to have indoor plumbing, an elevator, and heating, Fourth Ward School up here. So it was really a going place back then. And by 1886, it started going down. But the other thing I wanted to bring to your attention, there's a thing here called a sutural tunnel. Now
Just duck your head.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, I know, it's very low. Dude, this is less than 3 feet high, dude.
People were small back then.
Miners were only like 4'9". I almost hit my head a few times.
Yeah, totally. Duck. Calm. Fine.
Holy crap, dude.
Almost my head again.
Did you check the EMF? Dude, I can't get... Are we even going the right way? Or are we doing down the wrong way?
Yeah, you're supposed to follow the lights.
I can't fit in here. I'm kind of a big guy, you know what I'm saying? There we go. Gotta be a midget to go through this mine.
Still, this has settled somewhat, so keep throwing it up. There's what?
Her daughter was not.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, if you're not used to being in these close quarters, I just finished working for a mine. I was with Comstock Mining for 3.5 years as their chief of security. And so you have to have you've got to be able to do it. So sometimes it's hard for some people. Anyway, this is what they call a stope. I want you to picture an apartment building. You have different levels, apartments. It's essentially the same thing here. You had different levels. You had this level, which was the main level, the main drift, where the ore would come up from the lower level, from a higher level. Then it would come down here in a bucket and a winch, and it would be put in ore carts and taken out on ore carts, or it would be loaded into wagons or loaded onto the train after 1869 and taken to the stamp mills along Carson River. So the early miners in 1861, when they started this mine, there was no electricity. They had no way of pumping air. And so everything was done by hand. And what they used was what they call a single jack drill, like this, see that? And then they would take a mallet. But, like I said, they were making $4 a day, where miners in other parts of the world were only making 70 cents a day. And all they had to work with, because of no electricity, all they had was a single candle. Wow. And let your eyes adjust to the dark, and you'll be able to see, actually, if they're going into the ore face here, that was more than enough. But every once in a while, the candle went out. Got pretty dark in here, didn't it?
Oh, yeah.
That's about as dark as you can get dark.
Right.
They got
dark
a
enough?
flashlight.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now moving along here, I'm going to show you something.
Sorry for the bright flashlight.
And what they did, at the lower tier, they would go ahead and they would lower the ore after they blasted it, right there. And then it went by wind 9 feet each way. So, what were they looking for? Well, after they were looking for gold,
Here.
and they told you the fact, probably not.
Why would it cost so much money?
Because right now, mining is controlled by the feds. It's the Mining Health and Safety Administration.
Yeah.
And the regulation is just astronomical.
So
As an example, people from back east still think miners can get land out here for $5 an acre. But what people have forgotten to tell them, mainly the press, is that before we dug one hole, At Comstock Mining Incorporated, we spent $20 million in permitting, environmental assessment, um, reclamation bonds, all that stuff before we dug one.
Okay, folks, we're going to be leaving the mine. It's very narrow. Here.
Jesus. Oh, God. Don't get stuck again. Oh, God. Oh, my God. I died doing this. Look how low the ceiling is. Oh.
No, dude. It's just gas. So, folks, we are underneath Virginia City, about 400 feet in. We're not quite out. It's kind of muddy in here. But we're almost at the exit. Oh. Oops. I'm too tall for this mine, man. Watch it, dude. So, folks, we went about 400 feet underneath Virginia City, right under the truck route. As you can see, it continues to go under these mountains. That's where the gold and silver ore really was. It was one of the most successful mines. It was one of the top mines in Nevada. The mansion, folks, is right up on the hill. You can kind of see it. You can see the chimneys, but it was moved. See next to Fort Ford School, it's right here. It was moved so that Chollar could keep an eye on his miners. There's a lot of history here. But the mansion was the mine office and Chollar's home. Like I said, it was rebuilt, dismantled, moved to D Street to make way for the mine's pumping station. I don't know where the pumping station is. I think it's down here. I'll have to look at the end of the tracks. Let me see here. A lot of old mining equipment. You guys have nothing you haven't seen before. We cover a lot of mines. It may be over here. Let's see. That might be a miner's cabin. Maybe that's where the pumping station was. There's pipes right here. Chollar's men were paid more than any other miner in the country. And they were working very fast because there was competition with the Potosi mine, and there was a lot of arguments, violence. People even probably were murdered or shot. You know, they see each other in the saloon and they'd be like, my mine's better than your mine. I mean, this was the Wild West. It was lawless at times. This is kind of like an ore chute. They would dump the ore into mine carts. Actually, it would come out, you see the tracks? It'd come out of the Chollar mine, and then they had a mill, the Nevada mill, and they'd process the ore right here. It'd come down a chute, basically into the carts. There's some stamps over there. Stamps would crush them. I mean, there was a process to the milling that went on here. Keep in mind, as they tunneled through here, there was a lot of cave-ins. An explosion in the main shaft had killed many men in this mine. Now, what do people hear in the mine here? Like, what do people hear when they investigate the mine? Let's say people investigate it. There are ghost groups that come here. And the tour guides, I should have asked them because they do have some stories of their own, but they have seen apparitions, voices, shadows, things of that sort. Like I said, a lot of men... Oh, yeah. The deepest mines in Virginia City was over 3,000 feet in depth. This is the combination mine and mill. The shaft is still wide open. They recently put a grate or some fencing over it. But I've been up here getting EVPs and checking it out, and the shaft is right inside those two concrete pillars. It's very deep. It used to be wide open. Too many deaths, too many people climbing around them. But it was a deep mine, and you had the Sutro Tunnel and multiple mine tunnels, and I was told that the tunnels connected from the combination mine to the Chollar mine. So it definitely was a very large operation. And below is the train tracks for the Virginia Truckee Railroad. And we've also investigated, you see this mill right here? It's a Comstock mill. So we've done most of Virginia City. We have. Investigated that rail yard. There's a train tunnel that's haunted. So we've been all around here, and I so much didn't take the tour today. I kind of went off on my own to investigate the mine. It's just what we do here at PGS. You know, we have to work alone in order to clarify the EVPs and the readings we get. You know, there's only a couple people with us on the tour, but we let them clear, and then we had about a little time to look around the mine by ourselves. But zoomed in.
I know. Sorry.
Now this isn't the old railroad train. They have a steam engine and then a diesel engine. This is the diesel engine that takes you up to Dayton. Actually, the steam engine takes you to Dayton. This probably takes you through the Comstock. It's pretty cool. I don't know, I've never seen a machine like that. It's some kind of engine. And the rivets on that thing and the iron. Oh man. Some kind of engine that ran. Oh, see, look, there's an old car in there. The Chollar was consolidated with the Potosi in 1865. It's called the Chollar Potosi. It was one of the leading producers in the Comstock. The Nemadoville was erected right here in 1887 to process low-grade Chollar ore. It was the last to use the Washoe pan process. It was the last to use the Washoe pan process, but the first in the Comstock to generate and utilize electric power. It's pretty cold up here in the winter. It's erected in 1875 when the owners of Chollar, Potosi, Hale, and Norcross and Savage Mines combined efforts to sink a shaft to explore the Comstock at greater depth. 3,200 feet over, actually 3,250 feet. And it was plagued with flooding, hot steam. This is Cornish pups lifting over 5 million gallons of water. They could not handle the incoming water. When the Sutro tunnel was built, it actually flushed out most of the geothermal water, which is 130 degrees. So miners did get burnt. The combination became cost prohibitive. In 1886, the pumps were shut down, and within 36 hours, water rose to the 2,400 foot level, filling lower workings. They made about 7 million here. It wasn't a very productive mine, but it was full of accidents and disaster, hot steam pockets, possibly men even drowning when water flooded the tunnels and shafts. Be a job I won't want to do. In 1867, a trustee and proprietor of the Rassett House in San Francisco lost his life when he was lowering a cage brake, and when it was released, it caused the cage to fall, killing him instantly. He was crushed to death. Besides the explosions and cave-ins, there were multiple men that died. Mining was very dangerous. Over the last 50 years, a lot of ghost stories here. A lot of cave-ins. Mining artifacts dedicated in memory of Billy C. Varga Jr., Comstock miner. Most of the men that give these tours are miners or used to be miners, and they have a love for mines. So, you know, I'd love to be giving tours up here someday. I might give some tours in Virginia City myself. I understand mines and the workings and the history of this area, so I really don't partake in the tourism, but I'll come here just to be here, check out the ghosts, check out the history, some of the rusty remnants, and just enjoy the nice cool mine from the great hot outdoors of Virginia City. It's very warm here in the spring, very hot here in the summer, and in the winter it's brutal. But you know, you deal with a site that's had a lot of tragedy. A lot of success too, but a lot of tragedy. And these are the stamps. This would be considered a 5-stamp press or ore crusher, and the stamps would come down. Most of these were built out of iron in San Francisco, as you can see. See, 5-stamp mill. Crushed gold and silver ores yield 15 tons a day from 1860 to 1920. And you could hear these, stamps all the way clear across town. And I haven't seen some of this machinery before. It's kind of new. But I guess every mine had ordered or had their own machinery custom made. You know, some mills had more stamps than other stamps. And this one had electricity and power, so it's going to have different machinery than other mines in the area. Yeah, black and whites come out good at this old rusty equipment as well. I think we're going to go play some basketball in a little bit and just shoot some hoops. And I'm going to go to Ponderosa Saloon or the brewery and have some brews. and then go home and celebrate my birthday. Have some pizza and wings. We're going to have a good time tonight. I'm going to open gifts. I know I got some PS4 games, so I'll be gaming later. But this is our only investigation. It's my birthday, May 28th, 2016, and I decided to do the Chollar Mine. This is a 4 or 5 year trip in the making. I've always had other investigations in the Virginia City area, and I finally got around to visiting the Chollar Mine. I only can do so many places a year because we have such a busy schedule of paranormal cases, UFO cases, Bigfoot research, etc. We're always going out. We just don't have time to do every place. So we finally had it in our schedule, and it was something I wanted to do for my birthday. And there's some kind of fire hose on this. Dude, you're weird, man. What have you been eating?
Oh no.
Stay out of the happy juice, please.
Oh, that's kind of funny.
Chollar Mine, folks. And you can't really see the mansion on top, but I stood at the top of the mansion, but from the bottom is private property, so it's kind of hard to see from the mine, but you could see it. It's an engine of some kind. See the grill in the front?
I think it sets up
Like a no, dude.
look,
It's a radiator. This is like some kind of tractor or something.
Let's see the back.
Yeah, oh yeah, ours looks the same.
Oh, there's
If you were to
rock.
take off our grill, you'd see that. It's mud and stuff because it probably was on its side.
Oh,
And it got all kinds of mud.
ready?
Oh, real comedian on this investigation. Just so people know, the bigger the dump pile, the larger and deeper the mine. So you can see that's hundreds of feet, that dump pile. And that mine went down over 3,000 feet. But we're going to head on out of here. It's an awesome place. It really is. It's an awesome place. And I'm glad to be a part of it. And we're going to promote the tours and the museum here and all these artifacts. That's what we do. We put them on our site. We promote the tours. And we give these places hundreds, thousands of dollars in business so that they can continue to thrive and stay open. And because of us, so many sites were restored and still open, available to the public today, thanks to our hard work. You know, because yeah, it's a paranormal investigation, but it's more than that. It's about history, it's about mystery, it's about lore, it's about ghost. It's about rusty artifacts. And the rusty artifacts excite me. And I'm standing with all this rust here. I can't go wrong with that. This is Lord Rick. It's May 28th, 2016. It is my birthday. What better on your birthday than to celebrate it with the Virginia Truckee Railroad roaring by in a haunted mine and some brews. And we also seen the Memorial Day parade here in Virginia City, Nevada. It's a warm spring day. That's a steam engine, guys. And a steam engine's. All I see is the stacks, yeah. It's going in there's a housing it's going into, maybe. Maybe they're parking it for the day. There it is. Virginia Truckee Railroad. I feel complete. Check out our site, www.paranormalghostsociety.org. We're more than just an adventure group. There we go. Sorry, that was a bumpy ride. I want to get a close-up of this beautiful steam engine. Just parked at the water tower. We've been all up and through there on foot and off-road, and it's awesome country. When I was coming in over the main route into Dayton, because Dayton, you can see Dayton over the hills. there's a railroad trestle, and you could see the steam engine crossing it. And now it made its way up to Virginia City and met right up with us. Pretty cool. I don't know about you, but I like trains. I just came back from the Western Pacific Railroad Museum, and it's pretty amazing. We got to investigate that place as well up in Plumas County in Portola, California. And now we're standing in front of this beautiful steam engine and finishing off our little adventure inside the Chollar mine. This is Lord Rick, also known as Angel of Thy Night. You're founder of the Paranormal Ghost Society, and keep in mind, folks, help support these historical sites and support me in preservation so that your children's children can enjoy them. And keep in mind, we're more than just a paranormal group. All day long, the trains are running. Chollar Mansion, folks, from below. Also, you could stand on the roof to keep an eye on the mine from the very top, and that was an observation deck just to let people know. And the mine office kept the processed gold and silver. They probably had a vault in the mansion, and Chollar lived here, and the miners would check in and out. It was kind of like human resources. We're heading out of here.
You missed again.
My pockets are restricting me to do it.
Jesus.
My phone's got to come out. Then I can physically play. I can't have shit in my pockets when I'm dribbling. It feels like I'm weighted down. Okay. Ready when we take a few shots? We gotta warm up. Ready? Dude, these rims suck. Here, watch. 3. Here, let's play. Up to 11. You check it. Don't wear me out. Ready? You can take it first. Yes. I'm checking too. Go. Oh. My turn? Yeah. Your turn? It's my, I stand here.
Michael Jordan ain't got nothing. Oh, well, maybe.
Dad's not rusty.
What are you doing, traveling?
cheating.
Cheating? I'm always cheating, right?
I don't think these are regulation. Oh, now you're old, but earlier I was the old one. I see how this goes. Yeah.
I get it right here. 4 to 1. I go up to 11. You gotta buy me dinner. You buy me dinner. I get up to 1.
And just where is he gonna get this money to buy dinner with?
He's gonna steal from me. Hey, it's my ball. Come on, smart ass. Oh, that was Hey, holding. Penalty shot. 2 shots right here. You grabbed my arm.
No, you taller than me.
5. 6. You're Lord Rick. There,
Let's check it out.
check his ticket. Ready? Go.
I'm done, okay.
Come on, big boy. Come on.
No! No, why? No!
Look, my ears are turning.
Damn you!
7.
I can tell you, Jenner. I don't want money.
Don't ever say one boy can't jump. One man can't jump. Oh! Yeah! 3, 10 to 1. Yeah! Half court shot. 10 to 1. Watch how he finishes, dude. Watch, I'll slam dunk. Maybe. Maybe not. Here, right here.
Well, the net's messed up.
Yeah. Do it out. Ready?
Oh. It's not soccer.
Ready? I'm finishing it. You ready? Oh! That's game.
You really get to shoot like 5 times in a row in a real game.
Why are you standing there? Stand near me.
You can't do that.
What are you doing? Come get me.
Oh!
I'm gonna try to make a basket like this. I used to do that to my friend, go and make them all the time. He used to be so mad. It's not illegal. Dude, you have a chance to win this. Because I'm tiring out. No excuse you can't. You still gotta take it out. Ready? Take it out. He's working up a sweat. That means I got him on the run. Ow! My ball. All I have to do is stand and block you. You ready? Hey. Not on my nuts.
little slam dunk.
Ready?
Oh my god.
I'm going easy on you. Oh!
Game winner.
Joshua Henry owned a mill up in Placerville. It's one of the richest gold mining areas. The camp was actually for a while named after hangings, eventually called the Gold Bug Camp, and eventually Placerville. His name is on a lot of iron masterpieces found in the Comstock, and this would be just one of them. And we're above the Chollar mine right now, and there's some equipment on the hill behind the mill. The mill site was over here, and this is what's left. Some of it's donated, some of it's directly derives from these mines and historical mills that still stand today and were preserved through the years. Kind of like the Chollar mine, which has been given tours. And you can see the combinations just across. Look at that, there's the Chollar mansion right there next to the Fourth Ward schoolhouse. We investigated the schoolhouse. It's one of the most haunted schoolhouses in the state of Nevada. This is cool. This probably the mill was below. These may have been the cables. I mean, they had shafts and they were able to use the cables to lower, they would lower the cages to and from. Not just the cages, but the men. They might have an elevator or pulley system. Ore kegs, they'd pull up huge kegs of ore. Carts sometimes up a very steep shaft. Things of that sort. And you'd have the wheel and you'd have giant belts attached to it, or cables I should say, iron ones. A lot of times the hoisters would be above the mill site. This is the mill site, the Nevada mill. And I'll show you guys real quick because I'm standing above it. But I entered, right there is where you go into the Chollar mine, and see they got air, there's a generator and there's air flowing through the pipe, kind of ventilation system. And the tunnel keeps going. And we get about right here, right under, you see the highway where that red truck is? The mine goes about underneath the highway right here. And that's Mount Davison. And about a month ago I stood at the very top of the peak in Bullion Mountain, or Gold Mountain. There's numerous names for it. However, this is the tallest peak in the Virginia range. I stood on it above Virginia City. And now I'm standing above the Chollar mine. And there's the Chollar mansion. Built in the mid-1800s. Was the mine office and the home for Chollar, who owned this mine and mill, which eventually emerged with the Potosi, and then they had other stakes or claims when they started connecting 700 miles worth of tunnels underground. It connected to the combination mine, which had a shaft of about 3,200 feet. It's awesome. Just give you a perspective of what it looks like from above. This is Lord Rick. We're wrapping up our expedition here at the Chollar mine in Virginia City on May 28th, which is also my birthday. Then again, every day is my birthday. If I explore tomorrow, it's my birthday. I go adventuring, and a few weeks from now, it's still my birthday. It's always my birthday. And we're right above the old Virginia Truckee rail yard. I've been in those train cars. There's many haunted sites. The rail yard's haunted. The tunnel around the corner's haunted. The church, St. Mary's Church, Comstock Gold Mill, Fourth Ward School, the mine, the Chollar mine are all haunted places. We've all done them all. And there's many other sites around here we've done that you can't see from this hill. And we'll be back to do more expeditions and adventures. And one last site we did is the old St. Mary's Hospital, which today is an art center, but a lot of people died of epidemics back in the day, and that's very haunted. There's a lot of places we've done around here. We've hit quite, in the last 5 years of working on Virginia City, we've covered a lot of country, a lot of territory. Started the day off seeing wild horses, finished off with some brews and some basketball up here in Virginia City, and nice mine exploration and investigation of Chollar Mine. This is Lord Rick. Just want to say peace. Peace. We're done with our expedition for the day, and I worked hard. You guys see me at the top of the Chollar Mansion. You see me below the Chollar Mansion. You see me in the Chollar Mine. You also see I hiked above the Virginia Truckee Railroad, and then I also came to this point, which is probably about a mile, less than a mile from the Chollar Mansion. This is what the scenery looks like. I mean, you could walk to the Chollar Mansion about 10 minutes from here. Check this out, folks. We're at the end of May, and those are the snow-capped Sierra Nevada mountain range. Right below is Carson City. There's Carson City to the right. And then if you go pan over here where these larger peaks are, Minden and Garnerville, all very bustling little cities and towns. And of course, Reno is on the opposite side of Virginia City. Or actually these hills right here of you see Mount Davis, it's on the opposite side of the Virginia range. So is Washoe City. They all come consecutively, you know. Gardnerville, Minden, Genoa, Carson City, Washoe City, and eventually Reno out that way. I can't even point, I'm sitting in my Jeep. But I just want to show you real quick. You know, if you were very wealthy, a very wealthy resident, I mean, Virginia City was one of the richest towns west of Denver. But if you were a resident like Chollar here and you ran a mine, you may take a stagecoach into Carson City, and this is the view he would have seen. This is the view. Right here. And there's Job's Peak and Job's Sister Peak and Friel Peak, all of them in succession. You get a nice view. And this would have been the stage route to Carson City or Dayton, both historical mining towns back in the day. Of course, Carson being the state capital. If you took the railroad down into the Dayton Sink or Dayton Valley or perhaps Eagle Valley, and off to the left is Carson Valley, this is the route you would have seen via train as well. And I've also taken, there's a couple dirt roads above here, I've taken them, and we got multiple pictures and views like this on our site from this region within the Virginia City area. And this is just one of those vista points that I really haven't covered, and I wanted you guys to see it since we're near the Chollar Mansion. Check out our site, www.paranormalghostsociety.org, as you go from high desert to alpine snowy forest. We just left Virginia City, and you can see, everyone, this is the city of Reno. Just a 5-10 minute ride. It's really amazing. And you gotta realize how close everything is. But they're worlds away from the world. You know, one's city life, one's more country to urban life. That's just Virginia City. It's no longer really a city. But you can see Mount Rose, Slide Mountain, and then right here's, this is the Virginia Range, and Virginia City's just on the other side of these hills. Just like that. This way to finish the day. You know, I've never been here. This is some historic site. I'm on my way to go eat some grub, some chicken wings, and have some brews, celebrate the day. So we'll save this site for another time. If you look, right out here, you see the rock formation? There's a historic plaque, and there's people standing on top. We're actually near Geiger Summit, which is just outside Virginia City. Definitely a historic site, pretty cool. All above Reno. A lot of history here, folks. Just some stone walls overlooking Reno, just outside Virginia City. We just left the Chollar Mansion. 3 is North Blonde. I like this.
Okay.
This is Russian Stout. Imperial Stout. Very flavorful. This is Red Eye. It's a red stout. Oh, that is so good. And then 3 is North Blonde. Wait. No, 4. Oh, this is blood orange, 4. See? Blood orange wit. Oh, that's made with orange peels and everything else. And 2, you know what 2 is?
What?
2 is nitro.
Oh, you so healthy now.
Nitro Outlaw.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's good. It's got some zing to it, but that's good. And then this is
Like-
Nevada Gold. This is my favorite. I'll probably order a big one of this.
Yeah. Drink. That's good.
And I gotta savor it.
Yeah.
Okay. You ready?
Yep.
Russian Imperial Stout. This one, Red IPA. This is the most bitter. I won't order this.
He's gonna puke, isn't he?
No.
Your face.
A little sour, a little bitter. Oh, it's beautiful. Icky beer. Ichthyosaur beer.
Oh.
Drinking an Ichthyosaur beer. It's my birthday, May 28th. We just got done kicking ass at the Chollar Mansion. Now, don't believe what Ghost Adventure says. Okay, that's pure entertainment. Believe what we say. PGS. This is Lord Rick. Tipsy as always. Peace out.
Here's the birthday boy.
Alright, just you and me, Timmy.
Happy birthday.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dad. Happy birthday to you.
Blow out the candles, baby.
Make a wish. Half of them are trick candles. Let's get it.
Yay.
GG,
Awesome.
good
I
game,
can't wait to
Dad.
see my presents.
Yeah, well,
especially
you
the big
won
one.
me at basketball, so you deserve this.
You owe me dinner.
Yeah, right? Oh, remember that day.
Alrighty. Inside the box.
I just got pranked.
You just got pranked.
Oh my god, dude.
Are you just videotaping him?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably better than
In a Cheez-Its box?
You put it in there.
There we go.
Our kids all laughing.
Does it
Look
fit?
good. Yeah, it does. Dude, that looks good. Jesus.
Here we go.
Oh, that's
It's a
funny.
little tight.
It's supposed to be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, not too tight. It's cutting off the circulation right here. I'll pass out before I even open it.
Right? Oh, that's awesome. Oh, you're gonna like this one. Oh,
There's
he's
like a
going
ring
for.
around here, man.
Oh, look at the line. Open this primate box, as if
Oh,
it would be to be true.
a new belt.
It's a belt, a whipping belt. That.
There we go. My pants were falling today. I need this. The other belt I had to make a new hole with.
Yeah.
As I shrink down because I hike in the summer till I
Right.
weigh like 100 pounds.
Yeah.
Look at that. And they don't have sock fuzz. There's no sock fuzz.
Oh, that's.
I can
funny.
tell there's no sock fuzz. Fruit of the loom.
I know better, trust me.
You know
Hold it.
better. She knows about the sock fuzz.
Yeah, we noticed a long time ago.
It's a candle. Watch.
You're funny.
Is a candle.
What is that?
It might be a candle. It might not be a candle. But see, I don't
The
mind
primary
candles.
as you
I
open
don't mind
it.
candles. You know why? They smell good, and I can sleep at night.
Hey, Dad, smell it. Smell it. That's awesome. Oh,
Radiant.
right?
Radiant berries.
Oh my god.
There we go.
Oh, that one's from me. You're
This
gonna
is from
love
you?
it. Yeah.
Then I look forward to opening
I'm
it.
glad he volunteers and it's from him.
He volunteers and everything's from him. Oh, here we go. There we go.
This one I won't drink out of.
Here we go.
You should drink out of it. Drink.
And you can close it so it won't spill.
Dude, that we never washed it.
Huh? It's okay. I was crawling around on the floor ground of a mine today.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
Look
what
at
do I
all
care
this
about
stuff. Hey, you like the Cheez-It box? You just got pranked.
You stop.
yours? Okay.
What else we got in there?
And this is good because you know what? I sit at my doctor's. I need something to drink.
Yeah.
I do.
Dude.
I make coffee and tea before I go to the doctor's.
And see
Right.
that you keep it hot and cold.
Cool.
So,
You never figure out what that is. They don't. You would never figure out.
so after
I don't know what it is. Axe?
Nope. Hairspray.
Like Axe.
I was kidding. It's not hairspray.
it's not Axe, it's Calvin Klein.
Right. It's like Axe. It's like. See, I said like. Scrabble. Scrabble. You gotta pay attention to the details.
Like how you win every time at Scrabble.
Calvin Klein. I can smell good when I am looking for
Hey.
Bigfoot.
I smelled like a prostitute or a pimp
Jared.
when we left.
Oh, you're so
I
cute.
kept trying stuff on him.
Alright.
And I liked it. He straight up smelled like he had a
There's some good presents in here.
Yeah, there is. I'm so.
This must be chocolate from the heart.
You know, it's
Nothing says I love
videotaping.
you more than chocolate.
It's still videotaping.
It is chocolate. Look, hazelnut milk chocolate
Yeah?
truffles.
You love truffles.
I
We know
love
it,
chocolate, period.
right?
Sure,
Especially
nothing says
those.
I love you more than chocolate.
Right?
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, you got me chocolate. Yay, it's my birthday.
Yeah.
So why don't you put the bag on the floor?
Good idea.
Okay, here comes your big present.
Any of the presents are big, okay?
I'll fart on you.
I think this is an NHL. Maybe Far Cry. Oh, it's the All-Stars.
Dang.
But guess what? I can be the old Buffalo Sabres with the top goaltender in the league, Dominic Hasek. She'll never get a goal by me.
You want to bet? You know what I want to be? I'll be the. I'll be
She
from.
can go back to the
I'll
Chelios
be
days.
Los Angeles.
That's the
Beat that.
downside to this all.
Dad, I'll be from Los
Your
Angeles.
ass.
What?
Literally, because that's what he did.
You know what this is?
No,
Yeah?
I don't.
I think, you know what I think this is?
What?
Cigars.
Nope.
I think these are special cigars.
I think these are what?
Maybe it's chocolate, square. Oh, sea salt brown.
Check inside it.
Ooh, and it's dark chocolate.
Check
This
inside it.
It's chocolate.
chocolates.
Oh, it's over there.
He's just steady trying to get you, man.
What is that?
Yeah.
Dad, what's up behind you?
It's Tigger.
What's that?
Tigger.
Hold Simba up, Dad. Hold Simba. Simba. Oh my god, that's awesome. What are you staring at, Phantom? Phantom?
Alright.
What are you staring at?
This
God.
must be Far Cry Primal that I asked for. It could not be though. I
No.
can't assume things like
We never
that.
got you
Can't
it.
assume.
Yeah. We didn't get you time.
Oh!
Damn. There you go.
That's too cool.
That is.
I can't wait to play this game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
can't wait either.
I mean, it's just, it's all primal instinct. There's woolly mammoths and everything. It'll be so cool.
Oh yeah.
Guess what? I'm down to the big one.
Oh, Dad, this is your special present that you wanted.
Oh, come on. Just because it's bigger doesn't mean it's more special.
No,
They're
it's
all
really special.
God, this thing weighs a ton. What the hell? You got
It's a
sand in
box
it?
of rocks.
It feels like a box of rocks.
We didn't put rocks in it.
It is a box of rocks.
Yeah, Dad, I kind of got you a box of rocks.
What is this?
Read it.
Camp stove. Oh,
Look at
pretty
the
cool.
front. Look at the front.
Go get what goes with that, Jared.
All right. Be right back.
Wow, this to cook out on with some potato salad, macaroni.
So
salad.
wait, the Black
It's
Rock
good.
Desert?
It's good. It's small too. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it just
You
come
can
with
just
this.
pack it in.
That's what I'm saying. You can just pack it in and attach the propane and bam, you're
Yeah.
good. That's awesome, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It took a lot of deciding.
Tammy did quite well this year.
I did too.
You did too?
But the had a cheesy box it. The cheesy box it. Box. You like that box?
Box.
Cheese it box.
Cheesy box.
You're full of pranks.
Cheese.
Come on, dude. Enough's enough.
Okay.
Okay, I just
Piece
put in
it.
the pictures
Piece
for the
it.
video.
Piece it.
I am Batman. Wait, my throat's.
Alright, let's do this. I'll go first. I am Batman. Alright, I
go
can't do it.
second. I am Batman.
Oh, I'm Jelly.